Do you ever feel like no matter how much you work, you're running out of time and there's never enough time during the day to do the things that you want to do, let alone breathe, but somehow your income still isn't moving as fast as you'd like? This isn't a time management problem. This is your nervous system hijacking your productivity, your income, and your ability to help more people. When you are in this state, when you get that feeling of urgency, like you just want to do, you can't stop, you can't turn your body off. Rest feels like the worst thing that you can do. It feels unproductive. You always just want to go, and it really feels like you're running a marathon with no end in sight. Everything overwhelms you, like you hit your elbow on the table and like it's the end of the fucking world, right? That is a symptom of being in the sympathetic nervous system response. And when you are in the state, your nervous system prioritizes threat responses. It is looking for threat all the time. Remember, your nervous system is built for survival, not success. So when you turn the state on, this is the first level of survival mode that your nervous system goes into, which means it's not going to help you feel creative. It's not going to help you be calm, collected, and regulated. It's just going to react. That's what that response is for, right? We either need to flee from our stressors or we need to fight it off. And this looks like being very defensive when someone questions our work, whether that be a client or a colleague questioning our work, we get defensive and we don't see the bigger picture. And you can do all of the things, but it's not actually working because the right areas of your brain are not working properly for you to actually maximize what you're doing. You're not comprehending well, you're not thinking things through, you're just doing the things because you got to do the things and check the box kind of thing. And a lot of the times, this can be helpful for a lot of people, and people have made money in this way. But this is the first road to burnout, making a lot of money and then losing it all. So if you have that fear of losing it all, that is your nervous system telling you that if you continue to be in this phase, you will lose it all because the body only has so much energy. So it is warning you. That fear is not something to manifest out. That fear is something to actually listen to because your brain at that moment in time is trying to run from Scar and the hyenas. It's not trying to build a business, which is what you want, right? And when your system cannot hold this level of stress response of the overwhelm and panic, it then flips into the dorsal vagal mode, which is the third line of defense. This is shutdown. This is freeze. This is collapse. That's why you found that you go through a big sprint in your business, you make a lot of money, you make decent money, and then for weeks you either get sick, you get super tired, you get very irritable, everyone pisses you off, and sometimes you just want to hide in a hole and have a completely huge depressive episode. You lose your spark and never want to show your face again after making all that money. This is why your system has shifted into this dorsal vagal mode. You second guess, you procrastinate, you check out, you just go through the motions, but that's not really helpful for you. This is why you've had your income up and downs, right? It's not really a motivation problem because you are someone who is motivated. This is what you want to do. This is your life's calling and purpose, right? That is just your body trying to keep you alive by shutting the whole system down because you've overworked it in the past without giving it the time to heal, slow down, recalibrate, and integrate. The reason why this kills your income is that when you're in either state or you're ping-ponging within these states, and let me tell you, I work with hundreds of entrepreneurs and they either ping-ponging in these states and help them regulate this. But when you're stuck in these states, your brain literally cannot access executive functioning very well. So that's decision making, focus, planning, creativity. So the parts of the brain that are involved with those areas like creativity, focus, decision making, and critical thinking, those get turned down and you don't have immediate access to those places of your brain that you need. So you're wasting time reacting instead of responding, and you leak money through missed opportunities because you're not really seeing them. You're just seeing like the little thing, like the tunnel vision that you're seeing. So you're missing opportunities. Whoever you're interacting with feels the pressure that you're feeling. So when you're working with a client one to one, they're not getting results because they can feel your dysregulation and they can feel that you're about to explode, and no one wants to have shit explode on them, right? Like even though it's energetically or metaphorically, you have poor boundaries because you're always just wanting to go, wanting to fix everything, and your delivery and your content is inconsistent. It's reactive. I see a lot of entrepreneurs just trauma dumping, like shit that they go through because they think that being vulnerable is good, but it actually puts them in a very low authoritative position because they haven't really thought of a way to connect without being too trauma dumpy. That's what's happening, unfortunately. So when you're feeling that sense of, oh my God, there's not enough time, you're skipping out on sleep, you're skipping out on food, you're skipping out on time with your family, and you're really starting to feel very drained. It just feels like you're in a hamster wheel, not going anywhere. You don't need another productivity hack. You need to get your nervous system back online into its abundant state, which is the parasympathetic nervous system state, where it's the rest, digest, heal, and fuck, as I say. And in this state, you feel calm, you feel resilient. All of the parts of your brain involved with focus, creativity, planning, decision making, executive functioning are on. So you are able to take action in a way that's productive, that is efficient, that is well thought of, so that you don't waste time doing the wrong shit all the time, because that is what makes you more money. And so if you are recognizing yourself in this, know that there is a solution, but it's not through a productivity hack. You need to rewire your capacity to handle time. Right now, your nervous system doesn't believe you actually have any, but you do. So when you are stuck in survival, that busyness feels safe because it is familiar, in particular, to that state. Your brain and body will trick you into thinking that you're in control, and really it's just a stress cycle keeping your income capped and you leaking energy and time and future opportunities. So here's how to start shifting it. The very first thing is to catch that shit in action. All of the things that I talked about here, the feeling like you're unproductive in a hamster wheel, you need to really be aware and have that next level awareness when you notice that frantic, just one more thing, I don't want to pause. You want to catch that in motion, in real time. And when you catch that, the second thing you need to do is sit with it. That is it. You need to sit with that overwhelm, that discomfort, that uncomfortable feeling. You don't need to fight it, fix it, numb it. You need to sit with the discomfort instead of trying to outrun it. That's where regulation happens. And third, you need to repeat the cycle over and over and over again. Your productivity hacks won't work if that sense of rush and urgency and fire and heat that you're feeling in your body, if that's still running in the background, those productivity hacks won't work. Therefore, you need to repeat these two steps over and over. You need to do this until the workload that you're having now no longer feels overwhelming. And I know that at this point, most people would have been lost and go, oh my God, that seems like too much work. But if you can't catch yourself in the moment, if you struggle to follow through or have tried every productivity hack with no results, you're not dealing with time management issues. You're dealing with deeper survival patterns in your nervous system that affect your health, that could cause really bad health problems in the future and causes strains in your relationships as well, because that's what the nervous system does. It controls everything, including your relationships, not just your income, but especially your health. Do you want that? Right? And if you don't fix this before your next launch, before your next growth spurt in your business, you'll just keep giving 40%, 30%, 20%, 10% when you could be giving 100 if you just knew how to regulate your nervous system. So check out the links below to stop the hamster wheel of doing everything with no results and start cashing in by having a calm and abundant nervous system.